Hey sis, welcome back to Goodbye Heartbreak, Hello Healing, where we heal from heartbreak God's way. Thank you for joining me for another Short Talk Tuesday episode, and I cannot wait to jump in. Before we do, make sure that you're subscribed to the podcast, and if you haven't left your 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts, please do that because it really helps the show and it helps others just like you to find the show. So today we're talking about closure. We have talked about closure on the podcast a couple of times already, but it is just something that we have to keep talking about and reiterate because after going through a breakup or a divorce, that's what people seek. They seek closure. And you are probably in that place, especially if the breakup is fresh and new, where you might be seeking closure. But I want to talk about the main reason that you shouldn't seek closure from your ex. Okay. And it's, there's a lot of little reasons, but there's this big reason why. And it's simply because he cannot give it to you. He's not capable of giving you the closure that you are seeking, that you want. You want him to tell you something that he can't tell you. You are running to the person who hurt you to fix you. And that's counterintuitive. It doesn't really make much sense. Why return to the place that broke you to get put back together? Ultimately, closure will only come from God in this time. And I understand it's really hard. You have questions that you want answered, but he's not really capable of giving you the answers that you want. And it's also kind of dangerous depending on the kind of person that you were in a relationship with. For example, if this man is a manipulator, if that person was a manipulator, then if you go to them seeking closure, you are really subjecting yourself to more manipulation, right? If that person was manipulating you in that relationship, then they will continue to try to do that outside of the relationship if you let them. So, and that's not the only thing, he could really be a good guy or she could be a good girl if guys are listening. But even a good person, you're not going to like what he or she has to say when you go to seek those answers. More than likely, they're going to tell you the truth, right? They're going to tell you, they may even tell you why they left. If that's a good person, then they'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you why they left, why they don't want to be in a relationship anymore. But in your mind, those reasons aren't going to make sense to you. They're not going to be rational. You're not thinking rationally, right? And so it's not going to give you what you are looking for, right? That person is not capable of doing that. In this season, God is going to be the only one that can give you closure. And so, in my course, there is a stage of grief that we talk about. That's the place where you are desperately seeking answers because you are looking for that closure. And it's called Desperate for Answers, actually, is that stage of grief. And there's a cycle that you will go through if you keep trying to do this. And it's called the denial desperate cycle. And it comes typically at the very beginning of the breakup where you deny that, this is happening, that things are over. You look for answers from your ex and you might even gain some clarity in that process. But then once you gain the clarity, you feel pain because again, what they are telling you is not what you want to hear, or what they're telling you is not making sense in your mind. So you go and start over in that cycle where you start denying that it's over, and then you start looking for more answers. And the longer you keep going in this cycle, the harder it's going to be to get over that relationship, to get over the pain and move on. And part of the problem also with this cycle is because the center of your life at that point is the relationship. Your desires, your emotions, your ex is all at the center of this cycle that you keep going round and round in. So the only way to really find relief is to place God at the center. Allow God to be the center of your life and this situation that you're struggling with. You have to be able to, like in my course, I call it replacing the nucleus. The nucleus is like the center of the cell and everything else revolves around it. It powers everything. And if the relationship, your desires, your emotions, and your ex are what's at the center of your life right now, then everything you're doing is going to revolve around it. Your thoughts, your emotions, your everything you do, your everything that you feel and think is going to revolve around that instead of God. And so what's going to happen is you're going to see negative effects, negative things happening, negative thoughts taking place in your mind, and you're not going to be able to heal and move on. And that's what we want to see. So again, you cannot go seeking closure from your ex because they cannot give it to you. And so what really needs to happen is that you need to grieve your loss, do your best to let it go so that you can actually go through all the stages of grief and come out healed on the other side. And I want to see that for you, sis, which is why I created my course, Grieving the Living. It is a 4-week course that will help you go through each stage of grief. We got all kinds of stuff in there to help you, like journaling exercises. We also have different strategies and techniques that we talk about. I have lots of scripture all the way throughout, encouragement where you need it. And we also have a chat in a Facebook group that will help keep you accountable if you want to join. And so all of this will help you to actually grieve, go through this process and move on with your life, sis, because I know there's something more that you want for your future. You desire, maybe it's love that you desire. Maybe you want to jump into purpose, but all of this grief and this heartache is holding you back. So stop looking to your ex to heal you because he can't. And also with the course, there's a link in the show notes. If you want to enroll, go ahead and do it now. Start your healing journey today. And as a podcast listener, use the coupon code podcast20 for a 20% discount on the course. Get started today so that you can see the change that you want to see over the next couple of months and be able to heal and move on. All right. So I love you so much. Again, thank you for joining me for this Short Talk Tuesday episode. We'd love to have you in the Facebook group also. Come join us, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye, sis.